a billion-dollar industry mogul who washes his feet in toilets, a man who refused to buy license plates for his car. Ironically, he refuses to also take showers, to the point his former boss moved him to second shift to avoid complaints from his co-workers. His temper is feared amongst his employees, colleagues, and partners. His ego made him difficult to work with, as he was extremely demanding and expected the people around him to work at high standards. In the business world, he was known for his cutthroat business practices, including ruthless negotiation tactics and questionable ethical decisions, all in the pursuit of profit. He was notorious for his demanding management style and expectations of employees, which often resulted in high levels of stress and burnout. He forced the music industry to change their out-of-date practices and move to digital streaming through the force of a monopoly. And while he had these negative aspects of his personality, he was also responsible for many tech innovations that changed the world. Steve Jobs was known for his innovative ideas and strong leadership, but he also had a dark side, which makes him the ideal INFJ Sigma personality. INFJ Sigma personalities are complex people with a rich inner life. They are rare, making up only 1 to 3 of the population, and they are often misunderstood. There are a lot of misconceptions about INFJs, partly because they are so complex. People sometimes assume that INFJs are evil, or even refer to them as a dark genius. But the truth is, INFJs have a strong sense of justice, and they often feel compelled to stand up against bullies and narcissists. They also like solitude and need time to reflect in order to recharge their batteries. Some famous INFJ personalities include Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mahatma Gandhi. In this video, we will explain the truth about the INFJ personality and reveal the most hated INFJ Sigma in the world. Now, there are many misconceptions about the INFJ personality type. Some people think that INFJs are judgmental and elitist. Others believe that INFJs are shy and reclusive. And still others think that INFJs are destructive. The only way to understand the INFJ personality is to explain their traits. Let's start with the first one. INFJs are extremely detail-oriented. Sigma INFJs are extremely detail-oriented. They hate to be in a place where they can't see their progress. When they're at work, they're constantly updating their documents and files. To them, life is a series of ongoing improvements. They hate to be idle. The only way a Sigma INFJs feel calm is when they're busy doing something. This can be nerve-wracking for their partners at times. This Sigma is also very creative. They love to create new things. They hate to be around individuals that are not interested in improvement and continuous progress. This is where their inner genius shines on the world. We will explain more qualities that help them develop this inner genius later. INFJs use manipulation. The INFJ is often thought of as the master manipulator. They draw in others with their intuition and can use their cunning to influence others for their desired outcome. They seem manipulative in their endeavors, especially if they are unhealthy. The INFJ is a controlling personality. They like being in charge. They study others' feelings so they can influence them. INFJs control others by manipulating the conversation. They make people think and feel what they want them to. INFJs believe the end justifies the means. INFJs are very idealistic. They hate seeing people suffer, and they have a natural desire to help out. This can be a positive trait, but in the wrong hands this can be very dangerous. INFJs can be very manipulative and use their strength to manipulate people. They can then convince people that their way is the best way and that anyone who disagrees with them is a selfish, self-serving, evil person who doesn't care about anyone but themselves. Because of this, these persuasive skills can be very dangerous because they can be used to convince others to do horrible, wrong things. In essence, they believe any action is justified as long as they reach their desired outcome. I'll explain more about this later on. While they are good at manipulating and convincing, INFJs are not good at controlling or having authority over other people. In the end, most of their schemes are exposed. Sigma INFJ hate to be controlled. INFJs, as individuals with a strong sense of independence and a deep desire for personal growth and authenticity, strangely often struggle with feeling controlled by others. They value their freedom of thought and expression, and having that freedom limited or restricted can be incredibly frustrating and even stifling for them. Additionally, INFJs are driven by their intuition and their desire to make a positive impact on the world, and feeling controlled can prevent them from pursuing their passions and goals in the way that they see fit. The sense of control also goes against their strong sense of empathy, as they understand that everyone should be allowed to live their lives to the best of their abilities. As a result, INFJs often react strongly against attempts to control them, and may struggle to reconcile with those who try to limit their autonomy. Sigma INFJs are extremely selective. INFJ are selective, and it's better to think of this as a positive trait. They hate it when people try to decide for them. Sigma INFJs, like Steve Jobs, have a very selective fashion, culture, and leadership style. They study the nuance of things. Consider Jobs' vision of the iPhone. Not only did he want the device to be functional, but he wanted it to lead culture and human behavior. INFJ personalities are a very independent people and are not willing to let anyone decide for them. They like to be in control of their decisions and make their own choices. They are not the type of person who is influenced by fashion trends or culture. They will always use their strong intuition to decide what's best for them. INFJs can be egocentric. Strangely, people with high ego can attract and influence people with their irrational sense of confidence. And INFJs may act as if they're the most important thing in the world because their emotions and thoughts are so non-negotiable. INFJ often define their lives based on how they feel about every component, action, or decision, both real and projected. This is their delusion. INFJs hate being wrong, but they don't want to seem incompetent to others. So they will make themselves knowledgeable in most fields. Consider the once leader of 19th century Germany, who displayed many INFJ traits. His ego and charisma charmed millions. His self-belief was so strong, he convinced soldiers and the German people to follow his vision. However, that same ego held many distortions that bordered on delusion. During the last days, the military generals around him were frantically looking for a way out of the chaos. They realized he led them into a futile pursuit. In the end, the soldiers who followed him either ended their lives or hung on the gallows, while he went on to be the most hated man in the 19th century. In most cases, INFJ's facade cracks, and people often see them are less knowledgeable and will no longer follow them or respect them. Sigma INFJs are conscious of the world around them. Sigma males are aware and conscious of the people and culture around them. This may seem normal, but they have an intuition to seize the moment. INFJs have a unique ability to see the world and trends. This sixth sense gives them an uncanny advantage. INFJ personalities' intuition can read the environment and predict changes. This intuition allows them to be ahead of most. For instance, the German leader could see the tension between the old political class of Germany and the people. As a result, he captured the moment. While Steve Jobs saw the rise of MP3 music and the unregulation of digital music, he then positioned iTunes as a secure option to distribute music. He predicted the music market before the record labels. To sum it up, the Sigma INFJ personality type is very much concerned about their beliefs and standards. They won't compromise their principles and will not allow anyone to force their own opinions and ways on them. Their work life may be difficult. They may even disagree with their mentor and boss on most aspects of their work. But as a Sigma INFJ, they will never compromise their principles and goals. This personality type is very much focused on achieving their goals and big dreams. That's what makes them geniuses who create trends in culture. However, when an INFJ becomes unhealthy, they may use these traits to manipulate and harm others. This is why we call them the dark genius. Hey Sigmas, we'll be featuring your comments in the next video. Leave us your comments. Also check out our other videos. Thanks for watching.
You